Hello and welcome to our Business Grade 10 learners. In today's lesson, we are going to practice our questions on organizational structures and cultures. So let's get started. Let's look at our practice question first. Our first question states, define the term organizational structure. So you would then write, if you can remember, the organizational structure is the hierarchy. It's the illustration or the diagram which shows us who is boss, who is on the second level of the business, and so forth. So the organizational structure will give us an idea of how activities are conducted in the business. Secondly, the structure will show us the roles and the responsibilities of all the employees and managers in the business. And lastly, it will show us a line of communication, or you can also refer to instructions, a line of instructions. So the organizational structure will then give us an idea of how instructions are given from one level to the next. So this is our term, of organizational structure. The second question then asks, name the factors that will influence. Now, when they say name, it's no need to elaborate. You can only shortly give your answer. So in this instance, the first factor will be, of course, the size of the organization. Remember we said if we've got a big organization, we will have a more elaborate or extended organizational structure. Where we have a small one, it will be a more simple structure. The second thing that will have an influence, of course, then is the strategy we use. The third factor then will be our technology we have available. Maybe everybody's working from home, then the structure will look a lot different. Let me just fix this. Not technological, it's technology. And then lastly, the resources we have available. How many employees do we have? If we've got a lot of employees, we'll again have a more elaborate structure. So this is then question 2, where we name the factors. Let's move on. Question 3 then. Question 3 asks, identify. So identify is also a variation on naming, but we have to look at a scenario, in this case, the illustration that is given to us. Identify the following organizational structure. All right, so when we look at this structure, we see that we have a president on top, or the CEO, and then we have a vice president in marketing, sales, finance, human resources. So you can clearly see that the business is divided according to the business functions. And that word functions show us that it is the functional organizational structure that is used. All right, so remember that tip. Functional structure means that the business is divided according to our business functions. So then the question continues, and they ask us to discuss the following organizational structures. So the first structure we have then is the project structure, and the second one is the matrix structure. Now remember, the project structure is a temporary structure, so they will be together as a team until the whole task is completed. Where the matrix structure is permanent. They remain in their different departments rather, and they will only finish their part of the task before giving the task over to the next people. So let's take a look at the organizational structure. So a project structure normally refers to a project team. They are usually a temporary group of people who work on a specific project. And of course, there will be people from different departments in the business that will work on this project. And when the project is concluded or finished, they will go back to their individual departments. Where the matrix organizational structure People remain in their departments. They will not be taken out of their specific jobs to form a team. They will stay where they are, and then they will then conduct only their part of the project. And after they are done with their part, they will hand it over to the next people who have to do, again, the next part of the project. Okay, let's see what says. Question 5 is, what is the purpose? Purpose states that, what is it for? Why do we need an organizational culture? Now, our organizational culture shows us the identity and the core values of the business. If we have a strong identity and core values, our employees can be ambassadors for our business. Now, if you don't remember the word ambassadors, then you can talk about they must represent. Oh, my spelling. Represent our business in the outside world. And all of this will help us to retain or keep our employees and our clients. And that is the purpose of an organizational culture. All right. So last question then, define the term belief. So define means we have to discuss what the term means. And if we can remember, belief means what the business believe is true, or what the whole business accept as the truth. So they accept that this is the truth. And remember, we said that belief feeds into the values. So if we believe that everybody should be handled with respect, then that means our values will be to respect each other. And that is it for our practice questions. Before we continue with the application questions, let's have a short break.